Coach Patke, even though defense had a rough time in that first half, second half they respond. Force. I think it was like 5 consecutive stops on Nevada, getting those 2 critical turnovers. Just how was the defense able to turn around in that second half?
Yeah, I think Divine tough. Giving up 10 points and a half. Not pleased, but I thought the first drive they went down and got in the red zone. We held them to field goal, which I thought was huge. And then they drove us the second time and scored. Obviously fumbled on the goal line. Thought we had opportunity to recover that, but we didn't. So yeah, you're looking at 10 points against us. But what I was pleased with was there's no panic in our guys. I thought this year was the best that our defense has been on the sideline and in the locker room at halftime. There was absolutely no panic. They felt we were going to win the game. They knew they could play better. And then they come out in the second. After the first 2 drives, we go seven straight drives of no scores, either 3 and outs or a turnover. So they really buckled it up. They knew they had to play well, and they did.
Was there really any adjustments y'all needed to make, or was it just, as you're saying, the players just having confidence in themselves?
There was a slight adjustment after the first drive. I felt like I had caught some things that they were doing that got me out of it that we had practiced. So. Kind of got out of some calls. You kind of saw their game plan, the easy throws, and we gave them some of those easy throws early in the game, so it got me out of some calls. And I told the defense that was my fault. So made an adjustment, and I thought the guys handled it well. So, but no major adjustments coming out of half. We had to play better on third down, and we did. And we got some 3 and outs, and obviously, guys swarming to the ball and getting the ball out. 5 balls on the ground. We end up with 3 of them, so that was huge. That was a huge part of our success.
Best start in program history and since 2013. Just what is it about getting off to this 3-1 start as I head into conference play? Yeah,
I always say the first game of the year. New regime. New staff, new players, gain confidence, right? And then to go 3-1 in the preseason, that's what we call it. That was our preseason, and we're 3-1, and we saw some warts. We got to fix what we didn't like, and we saw some things that we really like, and we got to preach on those things and continue to gain confidence. But when you can start in 3-1 and start pretty fast, I think the guys start to believe. And how this is a mental game, and when they believe, they play hard. Anything's possible.
You're talking about the adjustments after that first drive. What were those adjustments? Anything you could tell us?
Just got out of some soft zone stuff. We were giving them some easy windows to throw into, and the quarterback was taking what we were giving them, and we just had to tighten up our coverage a little bit. So that was kind of one of our adjustments after that first drive, and thought we handled it well.
And we got to talk to Tavian Coleman the other week, and he was talking about coming over. He was very familiar with your philosophy. It's the same philosophy as Manny Diaz. Can you talk a little bit about that and your relationship to Coach Diaz and how that works in your defense?
Yeah, Coach Diaz is my mentor. Talked to him after the game, actually. I'm cut from that cloth. Tavian played for Ephraim Banda at Utah State. So we're all under the Manny Diaz tree. But, multiple and aggressive, relentless, flying around to the ball. Nobody's going to play perfect, but if you play hard and you tackle well, you got a chance. And that's how I was taught through Manny Diaz, and as he taught others as well. But multiple and aggressive, and obviously affecting the quarterback as much as you can in any given game.
You take that philosophy into conference play now with Southern Miss. They've got Frank Gore, they've got some offensive weapons, even though they're down a little bit. What do you take away from that Southern Miss offense with the little bit you've looked at?
Yeah, they're better than their record. They're really good up front. They're really big, physical. They want to run the football. You can see how they built their roster. Frank Gore, obviously, great player. They've leaned on him for years now. The guy runs hard. They got multiple backs, and it's not just him. But they want to run behind that big O-line, and they got really, really good playmakers on the outside. I think these are some of the best receivers we faced, just true playmakers. They got a lot of twitch, a lot of juice, and they can go up and get it. So, the first and foremost in this defense is stop the run. That gives us a chance if we can stop the run. So that obviously we preach that every week, but obviously this week going on the road, to give yourself a chance, you got to stop the run, stop one of their better players.
This road trip's a little bit different than y'all's previous 2 road trips. Going on a plane, just it changes the schedule just a little bit. But how does I guess, this team preparing for a road trip like this, especially against a tough, as you said, a tough opponent that obviously their record doesn't show how good they are.
Right. They know how to win, so get on the plane, all the travel. I think it's just distractions. Like Coach Kenny said today, let's have our best Tuesday practice, and then tomorrow let's have our best Wednesday practice, and let's fight each day. And I thought we had a great practice today. I'll come back tomorrow and have a great preparation. And then Thursday and then Friday, let's go travel. It's a business trip. Let's get there. Let's get settled in. Let's catch up on some rest. Let's get our bodies back right on Thursday and Friday, and kick it off on Saturday. But played there twice, so I know what kind of environment it is. It's a great place. It's a great place to play. They got great fans. It's a great stadium. So I think the guys will be juiced up.
Brian Holloway winning Defensive Player of the Week. Just tell me about his performance. Being stuck with so many IVs during that game, but his performance and what he's meant to this team through these 4 games.
The guy's a war daddy. I mean, he plays a lot of snaps. He's played a lot of snaps this season already. But 12 tackles, 2 TFLs, 2 forced fumbles. I mean, you dream of those kind of days. A 4th down stop. So, I mean, the guy has been nothing but coachable. He's a leader in how he works every day. If he's banged up, he's going. There ain't no question if he's going to practice or not. He's going to practice. So he's attention to detail, and then on game day he lets it loose. He flies around. Got to keep him hydrated, and DJ Morning's coming along, and we need to get him in the game, and hopefully we can rest Holloway at times. But it's almost hard to take him out when he's affecting the game like that. So proud of him for winning. What I told the defense was, with team success comes individual awards, and you can see how it's already starting. You go 3-1 in the preseason, you beat a Big 12 opponent, and now people start taking notice. Hey man, this guy's a really good player. So what I told him this morning, actually, I mean, keep doing it, and there's going to be more awards to come. So he's a humble guy. It's not about him, it's about us. So I'm proud of him though.
On Holloway, GJ was just up here talking about him and saying that when y'all came in, he was very receptive. He wasn't like, oh, who are these new guys? I need to know him. He was just in automatically. How important was that buy-in for the important piece, that middle linebacker in this defense? How important was that from him?
Oh, it's huge. Had slightly a relationship with him because we recruited him at UIW when he was leaving SMU. So knew of him, and actually Coach Greg coached him in junior college. So the relationship was there a little bit. I think that helps. This is a business of relationships and trust. So, but it was when I took the job, it was my first call. I was, I don't even know where I was, but I called him, and we talked on the phone for 30, 45 minutes of just my philosophy, how I see him fitting in what we do, and he was all ears. So. And I think, once you get a buy-in of a guy like that, of that caliber, I think others want to follow. So that's what happened, and hopefully continued success.
He's one of 3 defensive captains, but the other 2 are going to be out. What does that look like for this team with no Torrey Spears? Jordan Revel's still out. Who's going to have to step up? What's this defense going to do?
Yeah, you saw Colt step up last weekend. Have ultimate trust in Colt. Played at a high level for us last year. Like I said, just being very transparent with our defense. We told the defense what happened to Torrey, and we told them everybody else got to step up, and not only on defense but on special teams where guys can't take as many reps. Colt can't play on every special teams now if he's a starting safety. So, everybody raising their level of play in all facets of the game, and I think the guys were receptive to that. But there's ultimate trust in Colt, those guys in the back end, and nobody has to, our message every week is nobody has to play extraordinary. Just do your job as hard as you can, and good things will happen. And I think that's what they found out after that second drive. That's when I talk about the mentality of our defense. I think it, knock on wood, I think it clicked. Like, everybody, just do your job, play really, really hard, and good things will happen. So hopefully that will continue.
As you were talking, this game's always about the mental aspect. When you pull off the biggest comeback in FBS history, as you're going into conference play, what does it do for a team's confidence heading into conference play, knowing y'all been able to do these amazing stuff and being able to potentially make big noise in this division race.
Yeah, it's funny when you're in the middle of it, you don't even think of those things. You don't. You just know, like Coach Kenny said, we got to go out and score, and defense, we got to get some stops. It's one play at a time, one drive at a time. But then, afterward, you hear of all these historic comebacks and historic starts for Texas State, and like I said, that's great. But now they all count, right? We got to go win our league. We got to go 1-0 every week, and we got to go 1-0 today. And I thought we had a good day. So I think it boosts our confidence. I think the guys, when you have success, they start to even believe in the system even more, even in the program, in what we're doing. So they understand that you execute at a high level and you play really hard, you'll have a chance in every game.
We noticed like Nevada's quarterback pretty mobile. Just like when it seemed like you had him, he just makes one move. Just what is it about mobile quarterbacks that kind of make just a lot harder to prepare for?
I mean, you can ask any defense that defends Malik. So that he was their leading rusher. We knew he was a really good player. And there was times we Ben Bell missed one in the backfield. I mean, multiple guys missed him on one play. So the guy was a really good player. He's bigger than you think. He was hard to put down. And he ended the game with 90 yards rushing. So we got to. Those are the plays that are going to take us to the next level. We get him on 3rd and long. We got him wrapped up in the backfield, and he gets out of there. We got to finish those plays, and that will take us to the next level. But yeah, great player. Mobile quarterbacks. I mean, in my mind as a play caller, and in our guys' mind, you got to keep them in there because when we can cover them all up, we can play all the fancy coverages. But when he breaks the pocket, the fun begins. So, we got to handle that every week. And our guys know our opponents, and they know who we got to stop and what's their strengths. And we knew going in the game that was one of his strengths was his feet.
Obviously with Southern Miss, obviously with having Crank Gore Jr. in the backfield, as you were saying, the offensive line, like just what is it going to take to kind of stuff their rushing game?
Physicality. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out, physical football game. They're built for that. They carry themselves with an edge. You can see it on film. They're from their wideouts to their O-line. They when they pull, they're trying to knock your helmet off. When those receivers block, they're trying to put you in the dirt. You can see the mentality of their staff, the mentality of their head coach. They're a physical football team. So, we got to take our physicality on the road. We got to. It's a lunch pail mentality this week. Hard hat. So. And not to take anything away from their receivers because they can go get it too. So, but you can tell their mentality of that program and their success in the past. So.